what to expect for this week, crypto market outlook. Okay, so I think many are already calling the bull market is over and most likely to move on with the bear market transition, bear market. So yeah, I think a lot of concern here regarding about the Bitcoin price, and of course on the weekly time frame as well. Okay, so you can see the price went down, I think, to about 89,000. That was the lowest so far. Okay, and of course, I think a lot of OG bills also starts to sell. That could be another major factor why the price also is dumping. Okay, so the 4-year cycle theory tends to play out really well. So I even mentioned to you, even a few weeks before this thing happens, that Bitcoin will peak first. Okay, Bitcoin will have its peak first and then slowly moving on with the final rally for the altcoins. Okay, so probably Ethereum and other alts maybe will stand a chance to have its one last rally. Okay, if the dominance were to continue to hit lower and if Bitcoin continue to create another lower high. Okay, so yeah, okay, what we can see here. Okay, so we can see like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin have a slight rebound. Okay, and of course, expert analysts mentioning that the bears are actually taking control, which is very, very true. So yeah, I'm not surprised that you're already in the bear market very fast, very soon. Okay, especially if you look at the market sentiment right now, it is very bearish. Okay, and then how to play in this market right now. What is your moment of decision? Okay, what is your action strategy on moving on from here? Right, if you're still holding your alts, and if your alts are already down 90 to 99%, or if you're holding those coins from last cycle, that's where you need to make a decision. Whether you want to totally cut and dispose, okay, or you probably want to continue, okay, and hope for the best for the next cycle, which I believe maybe it might not recover from that. Okay, so yeah, we look here, Bitcoin rallying intraday high of 3.7. Okay, now it's somewhere around 91. Okay, and then we look at Ethereum as well, or it went to a high of 3.1K, and then slightly breached below 3K, right? I think about 2.9 earlier this afternoon. Okay, so more and more, I think all these coins are actually heading lower. Okay, I think all those bills are actually dumping as well. And then we look at the liquidation. Okay, exceeded about 460 million in the last 24 hours. So all this liquidation is due to what? Leverage trading. People who leverage long and short. Okay. Okay, so people who play leverage, this is the consequence of getting liquidated. Okay. So I believe there could be more room for liquidation because I think what we need is a huge capitulation for those traders. And then finally we can able to bottom. For now, I can see a lot of traders still long, still buying actually, taking leverage and buy. So the funding rate is still not cooling down. Okay, it's still spiked. So funding rate spike means there is huge demand, huge interest coming. It means they are not afraid. But we need that thing to get flushed out, traders to get wiped out, both longs and shorts, and then most likely might find a bottom from that. But nonetheless, we can see Bitcoin pairs is still in full control. Then we look at the crypto quant, right? Composite index pointing to a deeper correction, somewhere around 87.5K. So that will lead to another major support level. Okay, so if the ratio falls below 0.75, short-term holders will take profits and the price may correct to 87.5. Okay, so now we're already 91. So 87.5 is very near as well. Okay, but probably I expect price to at least have a relief bounce before we hit to that level, rather than going down all the way to 87.5. So again, nothing goes down on a straight line. You will definitely create a lower high before heading down again. What goes up will come down. What comes down will definitely go up, right? So that will create another lower steep towards the downside. Okay, a lower high before heading down again. Okay, a relief rally or a dead cat bounce. Okay, so you can see here, BTC rising wedge on the weekly time frame has broken down. Okay, bulls have also lost the weekly EMA 50 support since 2023 October. Okay, so yeah, this EMA, right, is the crucial part where it have already broken. Okay, price already break below that level. So which means usually the case for all the bull market cycle, whenever the price break below the EMA 50 support line, that is end of the bull run. Okay. Okay, and then of course, what we can see now, VAS are actually taking full control over this market right now. Okay, so you have to make a transition and you have to adjust on your portfolio. Okay, whether are you still going to continue to hold, or you're going to make a decision to at least secure your capital first. Or if you're in the money like 1 or 2x on your alts, then probably you might want to take out your capital or take some chips off the table. Okay, because heading to Q4, the risk is getting higher. Okay, risk to reward, the reward is more higher than the risk is more higher than the reward. Okay, so that is the thing about this cycle. And then moving on next, talking about the dominance plus ETH against Bitcoin chart. So we can see ETH against Bitcoin chart. What we notice is that the Ethereum chart tends to, outperform against Bitcoin usually by the end of the year. And if you look at the dominance, BTC dominance percentage also having a pullback. If you notice, okay, dominance is starting to hit lower. I think this could be the final curtain, final rally for alts and ETH, okay, to have its final rally again. Okay, so key points here you can see here. ETH against Bitcoin chart holds support with untapped liquidity, suggesting stronger upside potential. Okay, so Ethereum faces whale selling but still shows a cleaner bullish setup than Bitcoin, which is true. Okay, so Ethereum is more dominant now against Bitcoin. So extreme fear and technical gaps hint that both assets may be nearing a reversal point. So we can see already, most likely, we should see Ethereum starts to outperform very, very soon. Okay, so especially we are already end of November, very, very soon, then leading up to December. Okay, right. So yeah, Ethereum might actually be positioned to outperform against Bitcoin and even reclaim its all-time high before BTC does. So what is going to happen, my scenario, my pick is that Ethereum will continue to rally. Okay. And then Bitcoin will probably create another rally, but it will create a lower high compared to the previous high. Maybe it will retest 110K, maybe to 115 or slightly below 120. And then that's it, game over. Okay. And then, yeah, Ethereum probably might hit 5K plus, okay, before we see this bull market starts to end, okay, for everything, for the whole things to wrap up. Okay, so we could be seeing that kind of scenario. So according to this perspective, Ethereum seems to have untapped liquidity sitting above the current level of ETH against Bitcoin chart, which could act like fuel once buyers finally step in. Okay, so everything is pointing towards ETH and of course the alts as well. Okay, all right. Like, so later on, we will look into the technical chart as well on ETH against Bitcoin, especially on the monthly time frame and weekly time frame. A very strong reversal towards the upside is highly likely. Okay, so that's why I'm still not given up yet some of my alts and of course for ETH as well, because I think there's still more room for another one last push, which I believe so, probably by end of the year as well. Okay, so we can see here, this is by 𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, right? It's worth nothing that all liquidity has been taken on the downside for Bitcoin. Okay, right? Even sub 92,000, even the CME gap has been closed as well. Even if you look at the fear and greed index, we're already hitting at the extreme fear level. Okay, the lower since do not crash. Okay, why the sentiment is as terrible as it is. Okay, so we can see already money rotation clearly shown signs that the OG whales are actually dumping Bitcoin. And then probably transitioning to ETH and alts. That's the final touch up, okay, for this cycle. Okay, so I'm not going to go on with those bullish hopium, okay, that thinking that there will be a fire cycle like what 𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 has been mentioning. Okay, other experts have their own theory whether this cycle can continue. Okay, it will extend to Q1 or Q2 2026. Maybe it could be true. Okay, because of the transitioning from QT to QE, right? The Federal Reserve wants to remove QT, right? So they want to move to quantitative easing. And then with the rate cut as well, plus stimulus check coming in from Trump, $2,000. So everything is quite bullish on the fundamental side, but technical is not aligned. Okay, so yeah, the only game here is to survive. Okay, so Ethereum holds the advantage if the bottom really forms. Okay, so it needs to maintain the support, right? Very, very important on ETH against Bitcoin chart. It needs to really maintain that support. But once it can able to maintain that support, that's going to be a violent move towards the upside. Okay, a huge move, a huge boost for it against Bitcoin. And then that's where else I think most likely you might see some, probably if you are holding maybe like 90% down, maybe you might see some slight recovery from your alts. So I'm not sure you're going to get these life-changing gains from the last two cycles, but probably maybe not. Okay, so that is the only thing right now. This is the final one. Then moving on next with Cardano. So I'm not sure how many of you guys have claimed the airdrop from Cardano, also known as Midnight. Okay, and of course, right now we can see Cardano also at this support zone, or major critical support zone, right? Rebound zone. Okay, so other wallets are down about 19.7%. And then, of course, we look at the airdrop for Cardano holders, which is happening on 8th of December as well. So during this time, probably you might see some bullish momentum before heading to the 8th of December. That could be the sell the news event. Okay, I think a lot of alts also, not only on Cardano getting knocked down. Okay, all right, so many other issues, okay, that you can able to watch. Okay, all right, so Night gets an official launch date. Okay, so for those of you who have officially claimed the Cardano drop or midnight drop, okay, I think on the 8th of December, they will airdrop to the address that you've chosen, okay, your Cardano wallet. Okay, so this is also another free money coming in from the Cardano Foundation. So let's see, okay, how is this momentum is going to push Cardano on the technical side as well. Okay, so yeah, overall, we can see Cardano looking weak. If you look at the chart as well, I think it's been down all year. Again, no sign of recovery as well, stagnant. Okay, so now it's still hovering around 46 cents. Okay, so later we can be able to watch for the technical side. And then moving on next with coin market cap, on-chain analysis. So on-chain analysis, okay, all right, so we can see already what's happening. Okay, we can already see what's happening now that we are already in the bear market. Okay, a lot of people having this wishful thinking, okay, and then people will try to prove their own logic and idea or their own theory, thinking, oh, this is just a short-term pullback, or probably, they are using this 5-year cycle theory, okay, and then of course they'll back up with the ISM manufacturing data to convince you that the bull market is still here, right? And that is what happens last cycle, not mistaken. Again, by 𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗀, right, mentioning about the banana zone, and then this time it's different. Institutions will keep buying, okay, and they will not sell. In the end, what happened? We have the Luna and FTX crash, and then game over. So you don't want to make the same mistake again, right? You don't want to hear from all those experts mentioning all sorts of theory, okay, because it may look so convincing that it allows you not to sell. It wants you to continue to hold. That is kind of conviction, okay, that this type of expert analysts that putting that kind of trust or the kind of confidence, they're willing to throw their credibility on the line just for those retails to hold their bags in order for them to dump on the retail. So that is what's happening. So we can see here. So Bitcoin just lost its weekly 50 SMA. This is a very important line here, the moving average. Okay, although it's not a full candle close, but it's still a significant breach, which is huge. You can see on the last cycle as well, 2022, what happened? Break below this red line, and then that's it, game over. So what we want now is this recovery, short-term relief rally, which most likely gives you somewhere slightly back here again, slightly above the red line, and then probably another drop, another massive drop again. So like I said, you can see here, whatever comes down, it will definitely come up, create a lower high, and then most likely to break down. So a retest or even a reclaim could occur from here, but just like December 2021. Okay, December 2021, somewhere here, right? Breakdown, slight recovery up, and then that's it. Okay, it wouldn't necessarily mean the bull market is back. Okay, next few months will be likely slow and deceptive, right? So which is very, very true. Okay, so I already mentioned Bitcoin will peak first. Okay, all right, and then slowly later on, leading up to Ethereum and the smaller coins. Okay, and then more news here. Okay, so we look here, short-term holder. Okay, so short-term holder. Okay, so we can already see what's happening now. short-term holder supply in loss, or also known as capitulation. Okay, so like I said, short-term holders, they are here only for short-term, only for quick gains. But unfortunately, it doesn't favor their move. So they got capitulated. Okay, all right, so short-term holder supply in loss has surged to capitulation levels, consistent with previous bottom formation. Okay, so again, quite similar. Then every cycle, these spikes marks extreme stress and appear right before medium-term bottoms. Okay, nevertheless, there's no selling panic from short-term holders in the picture. Okay, all right, so yeah, I'm not sure how true is this data, but I think everyone, even the professionals, are also getting wrecked, are also losing money. Okay, new OG whales also getting wrecked. Okay, no one is spared here. Okay, so yeah, this is the consequence of coming in late as well, especially in the Q4. And then here, talking about the other pattern, okay, Megaphone pattern. Okay, this is by 𝗀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀. Okay, so already broken down this Megaphone pattern. So which means this could also create another bear market signal. Okay, so without a quick recovery in the next day or two, this suggests we are entering a bear market or bigger correction. Okay, right? Now here, the important thing is that if you regret not having taken any profits, okay, it's best to wait for a bounce back up to the 200-day moving average. So 200-day moving average is where? The red line here. The red line. Okay, right? In the coming month, there's a fairly good chance that in the month to come, you'll see at least a relief rally above this price we are seeing right now. So what is your moment of decision? Are you going to wait for the relief rally, or are you going to, probably take the chips off the table, or probably you're just going to wait for a new all-time high, or probably not even bothered like many of those retails. They will just continue to hold right all the way up and then all the way down, and then being complacent. Then we'll look back after one whole year cycle, or after the bull market, they will look at their portfolio is down 99% and it's worth dust. So you don't want to do that, right? You want to start to take action and then start to look, how can I able to maneuver from this scenario? So chances are looking more likely we are entering a bear market, even if it's only a 50% drawdown instead of the typical 70 to 80% drawdown. Okay, so yeah, I think most likely we are already in the bear market. Okay, so we have to accept that and we have to be able to pivot and to adapt. Okay, right? So however Bitcoin is able to reclaim the 50-week moving average before the week is over, then we can return to more bullish stance. But until now, I don't see it. Okay, we don't see the recovery is there yet. It's still down. Okay, it is still down. So this is already official. Okay, any short-term recovery most likely will lead back maybe about slightly above 100K. Okay, so you have to play your cards really well this time. Okay, yeah, holding Cardano since last 2 cycles. Yeah, same here. So you have to know already, right? If the coin not able to perform, then you have to really make a decision whether you want to cut it off, or probably do something else with it. Okay. All right. Then moving on next with the airdrop. So airdrop coming in here from Sentient. Okay. So Sentient drop eligible checker. So for those of you who've been doing this drop, you can be able to check. Okay. So register before November 29, which is 10 days from now. So if you have been doing, then you might want to go and check. Okay, enter your EVM wallet, check. Okay, and then next year coming in from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 Foundation. Okay, so 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 Foundation, okay, have already launched. So most likely there could be a tokenomics coming in. Okay, we've been interacting with 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 since May 2023, about 2 years, 2.5 years. So also burned over 6,000 in the Feather to GG conversation. Okay, so these are the things that people do. Okay, they paid a lot and then not sure how are they going to recover from this airdrop. Right? What is the cost it's going to recover? Okay, and then what else? Ethereum season 1. Okay, so for those of you who have been doing Ethereum, you might want to check your points. Okay, so the Epoch 2 points for Ethereum season 1 are now distributed. So they're moving into Epoch 2. Okay, so for those of you who've been doing this, I think you need to supply stable coins like USDT, something similar like ETHNA. I think very similar to ETHNA as well. They probably could be also a same company, Ethereum and ETHNA. Okay, so it's all about staking. But staking right now is quite risky because the risk is higher than the reward. So if you stake here, stake there, for those of you who've been doing this, you might want to check your portfolio. Okay, because sometimes you might not realize that you have staked and then you're not bothered. Then when things goes wrong, when you want to unstake, that's where the issue is, right? They start to block or they start to give reasons not to refund you or to even proceed with your withdrawal. So you have to be very, very careful, especially Q4. Okay, and then next, we're coming in from Datagram Network. So Datagram Network, I think they have also launched yesterday, TGE. Okay, launched in many big exchanges like Binance, KuCoin. Okay, there are many other exchanges as well. So what they are doing here, real-time hyperfabric deepin. Okay, powering the future of connected intelligence. So there's so many type of narrative coming in. So many type of companies saying that they're doing this, they're doing that. But we're not sure how true it is, right? So now, especially coming into this sentiment, I think a lot of companies now are actually taking a step back to put on hold with their launch because of the bearish sentiment. So probably Airdrop, ICO maybe cool down for a while. And then we're going to see whether or not can the market at least create a relief rally. Okay, then that's where we're going to see some momentum start to kick in again. So let's see. And then moving on next, okay, with the coin market cap, so we can see BTC at where now? 91.2, Ethereum is at 3K. Okay, any gainers for today? MYX Finance, 34%, Starknet 34%, AB 14%. Look at Zcash again, it's up 13%. Okay, any losers? I think a lot here. DAC-REKT, all these are old coins. Look at it, DAC-REKT, ICP was last cycle, Canton I think is new. Okay, Hyperliquid is recently as well, this year. So it's down 5%. Monero also last two cycle coins. Celestia was last year. Okay, Filecoin, so it's down 18%, 7 days. Litecoin also was like last 2 years. Ripple 13% down. Okay, so yeah, I think most of the coins are actually down. Now, then moving on next, okay, with the technical side. So we look at dominance. Now, one thing very clear is the dominance, very important if you're holding out. And of course, depending on BTC, whether can BTC consolidate or to maintain, to continue to rally. So on Monday, what do we see here? Okay, you can see this is the sell zone. And then what you can see here is that the price break below the middle band. So a break below, pull back for the re-entry sell, and then now it's heading down again. So we can see very clearly that the dominance wants to go down. Okay, dominance wants to go down. I think this could also cause another similar pattern, something like this, 2021, where's 2021 here. So probably it could also create something like this. Okay, you can see already the signs are there for dominance to break down. So if that were the case, then we're going to see all these levels to be built out here. Breakdown, might see the lower we have 53%. Okay, 53%, and then probably leaving up here from 6.98. Okay, there could be another drop for dominance, which is good for those of you who are holding out. Then on weekly, there's a BB squeeze, right? Okay, and then price rejected below the middle band again, which is also a good sign. So what we want the dominance to continue to drop, and then of course to retest back here at 57.76 as the critical support, and then probably bringing it over again here around this level here, 55.32. Okay, so that will be the levels to watch for dominance. I think very interesting for end of this month, leading up to December, for dominance to drop. So let's see. Okay, momentum sell already for dominance. If you look here, I mentioned to you, double extreme sell. Double here. See this? Double extreme sell, price went down. This is the thing, momentum sell. So short term, you come back up to retest back on the sell zone here before maybe heading down again. So that could be the thing that is built out now. And then if we look on next with USDT dominance, you can see already what's happening with dominance for USDT. I think a lot of people are converting to stables. So we can see already on Monday, consolidate, right? Down, sideways, and then now it starts to break. So I think this will continue to break. Then we probably will continue to retest here at this resistance at 6.727%. Because I think a lot of people are converting to stables very at the moment. Okay, so you can see massive sideways. I think next level will be here, then continue again its trend back up here at 8.1%. Okay, for USDT dominance. Look at the total crypto market cap. Also, you can see total 3 price on Monday. Okay, extreme sell, slightly extreme sell here. Here's another extreme sell. So very dangerous. Okay, for this now to play. Next level will be here again to test 820. Okay, and then probably might give you back around this level here, 668. Okay, on weekly. So weekly, what's happening? Momentum sell. So every momentum, there's always a pullback. We'll give you back here at 989.78. Okay, for the short term, 4 to 3. Okay, so daily also, you can see down momentum sell, breakdown again. Okay, so it's looking very big for 2 to 3. Now we look on next week, ETH against Bitcoin. Now, what's happening now on ETH against Bitcoin? Okay, see here. Okay, ETH against Bitcoin on the money time frame. Price, okay, this candle broke above the middle band, create a pullback. So now it's maintaining this level of support. This level here. Now, this level of support, it needs to maintain. And then if not, then you might want to revisit back here again. 0.02568. So as of now, if the price can maintain here, consolidate, that could be a high chance of a breakout. Okay. We look at weekly. Weekly VB squeeze. Price is descending. You can see already. Very nice. Okay. Price descending. So every time when you see a descending channel like this, there could be a high chance of a break towards the upside. So yeah, we're going to see whether or not can this thing pick out. And then we look at daily now. Daily now you can see down consolidation. So again, like I said, it needs to really break and confirm above, maintain this level of support. And then your next level will be the top here. 0.03521. So far it's facing some resistance there. So we're going to see whether can it able to do to maintain or not. Okay. Then moving on next week, BTC now. So if any question, feel free to put in the chat box, whether it's altcoins, whether it's other questions, you can be able to put it in. Okay, so yeah, you can see BTC now. Okay. Now above the middle band. Money is still uptrend. Okay. It is still uptrend. Okay. So yeah, I think now it needs to test back here. It is 6.5. Leading up to this level here, 102.3. So we look at weekly now. Weekly is horrible. Okay. Momentum sell. Downtrend confirmed. Okay. So your current support will be here at 86.3. Okay, 86.3 for now. But same most likely weekly, if you look here, we have last week momentum sell, this week also creating another momentum sell. Probably for this week, might see some short-term pullback first. Or consolidation, pullback, slight relief rally before heading down again. Okay, 96.5, 102.3. Okay, or probably here, 100.7K. Okay, for the next resistance. So on daily, we can see reversal pin bar, bullish pin bar here. But today again is bearish. So you gotta be very, very careful. Okay, especially if you want to buy. Okay, this is the re-entry sell here. 94.6. Look at daily now. Momentum sell, pullback for the re-entry sell, looking down. It's still trending down. Okay, it's still trending down. So there's no sign of bottoming out or reversal yet. There is no double bottom yet to confirm. So it's a bit of a risk if you are actually buying the dip at this level. What's more, we are transitioning from bull to bear market. Okay, so you have to be very, very cautious. Now, moving on to Ethereum. So what do we see on Ethereum now? So Ethereum, now we can see the setup is, reaching below the middle band. Okay, the next support, right, very important here. 2766. 2766. Now we look at the weekly time frame. BB squeeze on weekly, Monday, most likely there could be a buy to sell signal. Short-term buy to sell. Okay, so yeah, if that's the case, I might see the reversal to play at 3.669. Okay, for the immediate short term, for a slight relief rally before heading down again. Or daily, we can see here. Okay, Momentum sell, pullback trajectory sell, breaking down again. Now you can see it's consolidating on daily. H4, again, rejected at the middle band, it's heading down again. So another dangerous approach here. Need able to maintain, that's the thing. Or we'll continue to retest at 3K support and then continue to breach lower. So that is also quite concerning, right? For it against Ethereum chart. Okay, so Q&A, let's see. Cardano, Ida. For 46 cents. And then if you look here, so this was the last accumulation zone that we did. 023, 24. Okay, this was last year. Okay, so yeah, let's say if you bought last 2 years or even last year, right? Especially if you are in the money now, profit, then probably you might want to decide, right? You should at least take out your capital if you're already 1x. Okay, now it's 46 cents. You see you bought here, right? 2023. Probably not even 1x also for now, right? From here to here, how much? 76%. Okay, then yeah, you have to make a decision whether you want to continue with Cardano or probably sell it off, okay, and convert to stable, okay, because probably maybe lack of conviction or probably maybe the cycle is about to end, okay, or if not, maybe you might want to take out your capital first, then the rest maybe you might want to leave it, right, or let it ride. That's what many of you do. So on Monday, you can see extreme sell price now is breaking below the middle band. So the trend is actually confirmed is downtrend. Then of course, we're going to look here. We'll come back again to reset this critical support at 33 cents. Look at weekly now. Still downtrend, no sign of reversal. Momentum sell again. Okay, momentum sell. And then the next destination is here already. So you have to be very careful. So 46 cents and 33 cents. That will be the range most likely Cardano might consolidate around here before making another move again. Okay, get daily. Price breakdown, re-entry sell, breakdown again. Okay, it's still looking weak. We still haven't got any much of a reversal. Still having a hard time for crypto to rebound. The relief rally is what everyone is waiting for, but we are still not getting there yet. Okay, and Cardano also is trending down, still failed to break past the middle band, which is also another concern. So Cardano still have potential since it's already been last 2 Bitcoin cycles. So again, like I said, projects come and go. Okay, so if the community or the leader is no longer have the kind of vision on where they're heading, that's where maybe you might want to cut. But according to 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘁, okay, they have a lot of projects ongoing. Okay, and then with the midnight airdrop also coming on for next month, 8th of December. Okay, so if you believe in this kind of thesis, then it gives you the confidence probably you can hold. Okay, but again, of course, never ever bury your backs, right? Time to take profits, you take. Time to at least secure your capital, you secure your capital. So you don't want to ride all the way up, all the way down. And then once it reaches this level, you have to start asking again. I should have taken at least my capital out. Now it's already back here. Right? So it's going to be another sunk cost fallacy. Okay, your cost of opportunity. So you have wasted how much of time since when you accumulate around 2023. By the time you went up here, you don't even take out your capital or even some profits. So you let it ride all the way back down here again. So you wasted from 2023 all the way from now, you wasted 2 years of buying and holding without even securing your capital or profit. So you have lost your cost of opportunity. So you do not want that. Again, so this is a lesson. Okay, everybody also have to learn. Okay, how to maneuver, how to actually be disciplined with your altcoins portfolio. That is the reason why, especially coming in for this cycle onwards, never ever buy more than 5 or 10 coins. Okay, you need to stick within 5 or less than 5. Okay, and then probably go for the quality outs because we cannot continue like last 2 cycles. Okay, when we put $50, $100 for one coin, it can go to 50x or 100x. So it doesn't look that anymore. Okay, so you can look at other outs as well. Okay, so what else here? You see CRO. Yeah, CRO, right? Chronos. What's happening now with Chronos? Well, Swan also went down. Okay, pump here, 2021. Okay. So this one was 97 cents. The all-time high here was 38 cents. Now it's back down. Okay, back down again. We can see here, pump, down, consolidation, pump, down, consolidation, pump. Now down again, probably consolidate for Chronos. Critical support 72, okay, 0.072. Now we can see what's happening on weekly. Pump, dump, descending. You can see very similar like this also. Now we want consolidation and then continue again. So we're going to see whether can he able to do that or not for Chronos. Okay. Then all these are last cycle coin. So yeah, everything is down. Even versus what's happening now with RBF. Isn't it? Polka dot also is gone. Look at RBF. Now it's back where? Again at the 2023 level. You see? Have you not take out your capital or even profits? This is what's happening. 2023 all the way to for 1 year. The all-time high was at what, $49. So the low was how much here? $3. So $3 to $50. How many X here? Oh, about 10X. Okay, 10X. If you have not even secure your capital, even profits, and what happened? You ride all the way up, all the way down. So end of the day, you're at a loss again. This is what we call sunk cost fallacy. And your cost of opportunity. This is the problem. Many people do not have the discipline to at least, take profits along the way. So it's coming down and it's like hitting all the way down again. Okay, you can see all this, right? All these are old cycle coins. Polka dot, what happened? Dot, being similar as well. Now where are we now? 2.69. See, similar. Breaking down again. Low was how much here? 63 cents. So yeah, like I said, this is a thing that you really have to make a decision whether you want to cut or you want to hold or probably ride all the way down to zero or to dust. Okay, so yeah,